Lights, camera, action. Welcome back to Flick Flash. The world is full of secrets, and among the most unbelievable is a small group of immortal warriors who have fought in shadows for centuries. The Old Guard, directed by Gina Prince-Bythewood and based on the comic by Greg Rucka, redefined the action genre with heart, history, and a deeply human twist on the superhero myth. As we gear up for The Old Guard 2, let's revisit the story so far. Its betrayals, battles, and the broken immortals at the heart of it all. The Immortals and their mission. The story centers on a covert unit of immortal mercenaries who've been silently shaping human history for centuries. Led by Andy, short for Andromache of Scythia, Charlize Theron, the group includes Booker, Shanertz, a Napoleonic soldier burdened with guilt, Joe, Marwan Kenzari, a former crusader, and Nikki, Luca Marinelli, once his enemy and now his soulmate. Together, they take on covert missions they believe will make the world better, fighting injustice and corruption where governments fail. Their gift is immortality. They heal from any wound, no matter how fatal. But this gift comes with a looming curse. No one knows when it will end. One day, without warning, the healing just stops. This underlying fear makes their bond stronger, but also makes every battle a gamble. On a mission in South Sudan to rescue kidnapped girls, the team is ambushed in a suspiciously well-planned attack. Shot and seemingly killed, they quickly regenerate and retaliate with brutal force. The ambush makes one thing clear: someone knows who they are. The awakening of Nile Freeman. Half a world away, U.S. Marine Nile Freeman, KiKi Layne, is fatally stabbed during a mission in Afghanistan. Moments later, she awakens, fully healed and confused. Her fellow soldiers are terrified, and she's placed under heavy surveillance. What she doesn't know yet is that she's become one of the immortal few. At the same time, the other immortals experience a shared dream, an echo of Nile's resurrection. Andy tracks her down, abducts her from the base, and introduces her to the truth about who and what she is. Nile is skeptical, frightened, and unwilling to accept her fate. But as she travels with Andy and witnesses the group's unique abilities, the reality begins to settle in. Her introduction is not only pivotal for the plot, but also allows viewers to understand the rules of immortality through her eyes: disbelief, denial, anger, and eventual acceptance. Her arrival breathes new life into the tired group and sets the tone for the emotional depth that follows. A history of pain and loss. With Nile adjusting to her new reality, the emotional weight of centuries begins to reveal itself. Joe and Nikki share a love story, born out of bloodshed during the Crusades, a rare and enduring bond. Booker, however, is a man scarred by time. He once tried to use his immortality to help his children, only to watch them grow old and die, cursing him for not aging with them. Andy is the most complex of all. She's ancient, possibly the oldest among them, and no longer certain that their actions are doing any good. Her experiences span millennia of war, suffering, and loss. Her emotional exhaustion is tangible. A key moment occurs during a plane ride with Nile, where Andy makes her confront the harsh realities of immortality. Not just the power, but the loneliness. We also learn of Quynh, Andy's first immortal companion, who was captured during the witch trials and sealed inside an Iron Maiden. She was thrown into the sea and has spent hundreds of years drowning, reviving, and drowning again. This unresolved trauma haunts Andy and foreshadows future events. Betrayal from within. Meanwhile, James Copley Chiwejioffor, a former CIA agent, begins tracking the team. He believes their regenerative abilities could be the key to curing disease and ending suffering. Driven by personal tragedy, he shares their existence with Stephen Merrick, Harry Melling, a ruthless pharmaceutical tycoon obsessed with unlocking the secret of immortality. Merrick's greed knows no bounds. With Copley's intel, he orchestrates an operation to capture the immortals. In a shocking twist, Booker betrays the team, lured by the hope that science can cure him of the pain of living forever. Andy is captured and brought to Merrick's lab, where her healing begins to fail, a terrifying realization that her immortality has ended. Meanwhile, Joe and Nikki are tortured by Merrick's scientists, killed and revived repeatedly as they study their cells. These scenes are brutal, showcasing how their so-called gift is exploited and dehumanized. The final assault, Nile, having broken away from the group earlier, decides to return and rescue her newfound family. She partners with Copley, who now regrets his actions. With his help, Nile infiltrates the lab, launching a high-octane final assault. The climax features some of the film's best action choreography, particularly a brutal hallway sequence where Andy and Nile fight side by side. Even though Andy is now mortal, she doesn't hesitate, wielding her ancient axe with deadly precision. The real triumph isn't just in defeating Merrick, it's in Nile fully embracing her role and proving her loyalty. She chooses this life not because she must, but because it matters. Booker's betrayal is acknowledged, and the group decides on a harsh but fair sentence. He is exiled for 100 years. Consequences and new beginnings. After the chaos, the team reclaims their freedom. Copley erases all evidence of their existence, becoming their new ally and strategist. Andy, no longer immortal, steps back, but her wisdom remains crucial. Nile is officially welcomed as one of them. Booker, heartbroken and exiled, begins his lonely sentence. But just when the dust settles, a final twist sends shockwaves through the story. Quynh returns. In a haunting post-credits scene, we see Booker arrive at his apartment in Paris, only to find Quynh alive and standing before him. Long thought lost beneath the sea, she has returned, but her motives remain unclear. Her reappearance sets up the Old Guard 2 and promises a dramatic reckoning between past trauma and present loyalties. Is she a friend or a threat? What's next in The Old Guard 2? With Victoria Mahoney directing the sequel, The Old Guard 2 is set to expand the mythology further. Charlize Theron returns as Andy, joined by KiKi Layne, Matthias Schoenaerts, Marwan Kenzari, Luca Marinelli, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and new cast members Uma Thurman and Henry Golding. The sequel promises to delve deeper into Andy's life as a mortal, Quynh's intentions and possible vengeance, the origin of immortality, whether immortality is truly a blessing or a curse. Final thoughts. The Old Guard didn't just deliver visceral action. It told a story about purpose, grief, and resilience. These aren't invincible heroes. They're battle-worn souls trying to make eternity mean something. With Nile's arrival bringing hope and Quynh's return igniting tension, the future of the team stands on a knife's edge. Are you ready for the next chapter? Thank you once again for being a part of Flick Flash. Until next time, keep watching, keep exploring, and keep that movie and TV magic alive. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and stay tuned for more exciting recaps. This is Flick Flash signing off.